Sandra here, Creating Spain, and today is another video on pop-ups. I do seem to be on a bit of a pop-up roll at the moment. I don't know quite why, but I figure if you're learning how to do these things, then you do a few of them and then it sort of sinks in and you kind of get to know what you're doing so that you make fewer mistakes in your design. Right, I have here a very simple nativity scene, and it is made so that the circle here pops up from the background. Now the reason I'm showing you this one is because there are two different ways of doing a pop-up basically. One is where the insert is the whole page and it's all cut out of one sheet and then that's it. And then there's another way. The reason I want to show you the two different methods is that sometimes you want this to be a different colour to the background. And it could be that you're using quite an expensive card for the background that is already coloured back and front. And you then want this to be white or black or silver or whatever. And if you do it this way, it means you then got to do a separate cutout and then put it over the top, and it just makes more work. So I've got another page here with alternates on, and this looks slightly different. Now this is what the basic shape of your pop-up would look like if you just cut it out to stick onto the base card. So you have a tab here, you have a tab here, and then you pick whatever design it is that you want to go in the middle. So how do you actually do it? Well, you can see this shape is pretty easy. You create a circle, you create two squares. Now it's important that the vertical dimensions of these two pieces are the same, or else your pop-up is going to be skewed from top to bottom. So if that measures 1 centimetre, then you want that to measure 1 centimetre. So the easiest way of doing it is to take a circle, to make a square, to put it where you want it, to duplicate it in place, and then just move it down to the bottom so that it's in the correct place, and then to do a weld with the whole lot. You then lock the object. Take this tool here and just do a line across the top and across the bottom, or indeed you can just do the line across the top, change the colour of it to pink because it's a score line, not a cut line, and you want to make sure you know the difference when you're cutting it. Copy, paste in place, and then just use your arrow keys to put it down into place here, and then you just group the whole lot together. Now your inside needs to fit into a slightly smaller circle. So for example, when I made the original circle, I just did an interior offset of something like 0.25 of a centimetre or 0.3 or whatever, however big or small you want it to be, depending on how stiff your card is that you're making this from. If you're making this from a flimsy paper, then you may want to make your frame bigger. If you're making it from a very nice, strong, stiff card, then you can afford to go a bit narrower on the frame. So you have your inside, and in this particular case, I might put a fill colour on it just so you can see what's going on. Now, how did I get this scene here? Well, it's really easy. All you do is you take some basic shapes for the background, which, I mean, it could be flat, it may not be, and you make that a union path. It's not worked, which probably means it's not a closed path on one of those. Right, okay, let's undo that. Right, let's check this path is closed. Okay, now another one. A bit of a lump there, isn't it? Okay, select it and path, close path. Now I'm going to rotate that one around because it was a bit of a strange shape. and path union. So that makes my basic ground shape. And then for buildings, it's very easy, just rectangles and triangles and whatever other basic shapes you want to make your building shapes. Now you notice on here that I have got my triangle a completely different dimension to my rectangle. Now if I wanted it the same, the easy way of doing this is go to Object, Transform and Scale. And if you do that and you just go to Apply Individually here, keep proportions and then go Apply, my triangle, oops, click OK, my triangle is now the same dimension across the base. Need to separate it. Is the same dimension across the base as my rectangle, so they would be a perfect fit. And I could literally just move that down over there. Whoops, clicked on the wrong thing. And make sure that it was centered, and then go to path and union, and I would have my tower shape. Okay, so I could, for example, duplicate some of those, just do 3. This is just for an example. Whoops, didn't click on my mouse there. And make these different sizes. They're going to be way too big anyway. Okay, right. Now if I take those 3 and group and put them there. Actually, if I turn those around, that might be better. Now I'm going to have to ungroup those because I've made them so that they don't fit properly. Okay, so I want one to be there, one to be there. Right, you get the idea. And just go to path union. So you get your shape of whatever it is that you're going to be cutting out. And I'm going to copy this one and paste it because I don't want to have to make the circle again for when I want it next. And you just put it wherever it is that you want it. And in this particular case, go front minus back. And you get that. And then when you put that inside your circle, you automatically get your frame. There we go. That will be your cutout. Now you can do this with words, with various silhouettes, whatever you fancy doing, or you could do something far more complicated with lattice work or an all over pattern behind it. The choice is yours. But basically that's the way to do it. And then when you want to make your card, this tab here will be glued next to the fold. And then when that's glued, you have this flat. You fold that one back, put some glue on it, close the card, and then when you open it up, it will automatically be in the right place. So that's how it's done. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye.